Well, someone at the New York Times is wearing serious rose-colored glasses this morning. Take a look at the headlines in today's paper. Quote, in the latest data on the economy, experts see signs of pickup. Is that really how anyone in the real world sees this? Joining us now is Bernard Whitman, president of Whitman Insight Strategies. Come on, Bernard, signs of pickup? I mean, isn't that just a terrible headline? That's such a disingenuous headline.
I don't think so. I mean, the fact is that we've had 28 straight months of job growth. We've had 4.4 million jobs created. Manufacturing jobs are on the rise. Housing is starting to pick up. The auto industry is coming back. Is it enough? Absolutely not. Do we need more jobs created? Absolutely. But there is signs of life in this economy.
Beyond those
and unfortunately,
bullets,
it seems that the Romney campaign can only win this election by continuing to talk down the economy and to give promise of tax cuts to those who actually don't deserve it.
So you mean to tell me realistically that you're proud of this economy? This economy is a reflection of the best America could do right now.
I'm proud of the fact that we avoided the Second Depression. I'm proud of the fact that the president has been insistent that we've got to focus on job creation. We have to continue to invest in education and clean industry, in clean energy and creating jobs. What scares me is the idea that Mitt Romney wants to come into office and cut taxes $5 trillion when we still have an enormous deficit. That's just irresponsible.
Wait, well, you're just talking about investing in education, which we might see as spending more money that we don't have. I don't think that anybody can explain that in this environment.
You don't think we should invest in Head Start for our children? You don't think we should invest in allowing kids to go to college? You don't think we should invest in giving our veterans
I just think that there's another word
war?
for that, and that's spending more money.
Well, no, there's another word for it, and it's just bogus. Because, listen, you guys hide behind teachers, firemen, Head Start all the time, and every time this money's printed up, where does it go? Into the pockets of unions, Bernard. Be honest about this. That's why stimulus part didn't work, because none of the money went towards any real projects. Okay. It all is redirected to people who back the Obama administration.
With all due respect, the Karl Rovian, say it enough times and it's true, doesn't work. The Congressional Budget Office, which is nonpartisan, said that the stimulus saved 3.5 million jobs. So the stimulus actually did in fact work.
Okay, let's hold on. No, 1 second then. Let me come up with. I'm glad you brought up the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. They just came out with numbers and talking about the Bush tax cuts. Federal income tax liability. In other words, who's paying the most of the federal income tax? 68% of the top 20% paid 68%. It was 66% before the Bush tax cuts. Now, all individual income tax, the top 20% paying 94%. That's up from 81% before the Bush tax cut. It's obvious that the top 20% of this nation, they're carrying the load. They're carrying a burden that is amazing. And you still talk about redistribution of money.
I don't
You
talk
still
about that.
put on the pom-poms and only 80,000 jobs are created in a single month, 225,000 in 3 months. We should be doing that monthly.
Look, the American people have had their taxes cut on average $3,600, typical American family under President Obama. The fact is, spending as a share of the economy is at its lowest level since Ike was in the White House. That's 50-plus years.
What spending?
Discretionary
spending?
Discretionary government spending is at its lowest level since Dwight Eisenhower was in the White House. You can check the facts. The truth is that Mitt Romney wants to cut taxes for millionaires on average by $250,000 while raising taxes on the middle class.
Bernard, I know you probably, I know with your business, you probably go through these bullet points all the time with the guys that you're helping. But let's get beyond that and let's have an honest discussion for a moment. Do you feel that America is living up to its potential? Do you honestly think that something isn't wrong, that something should be tweaked? Do you think everything the president has done so far with respect to the economy has been perfect?
No, I think we are on the right track. I think we're on the right track towards growth, and I think that we need to continue in being wise in cutting our spending and making sure, as the president's budget does, that $2.50 of cuts are matched for every dollar.
Has any Democrat even voted for the president's budget? I mean, no one likes his budget, Democrats or Republicans.
Well, you know why? Because he is attacking sacred cows. We have got to cut spending. We're cutting defense for the first time since the 90s. Why? Because fundamentally, we've got to be smarter in our investments, and we've got to be able to extend tax cuts for the middle class. But it just does not make economic sense.
If you're not going to acknowledge that the consumer doesn't feel like things are improving right now, you can't ignore the fact that corporations are not showing any signs that they feel better about the economy. They're sitting on hordes of cash, unwilling to spend that money. Yet President Obama wants to tell them it's their duty and obligation to do so.
Well, I would say, actually, when corporate profits are at a record high, they do have a duty to invest.
Absolutely not. Private business does not have an obligation.
I believe that
their obligation is to shareholders.
Responsibility to invest in this country and create jobs. You know what? The American consumer has saved $5.5 billion a year.
You're going back.
President Obama cut credit card.
You're ignoring the question. Why don't companies want to spend? Why don't companies want to spend? Why don't they want to hire?
Because of uncertainty. Uncertainty in the economy, and tied to uncertainty in this election.
Tied to uncertainty, tied to the anti-business, anti-success rhetoric from the White House, which is scaring them more than anything else.
The notion that somehow this president is anti-business when business creates jobs is absurd. It's a talking point from the conservative side that fundamentally is disrespectful.
I've read more op-eds from business owners who are not conservative, not Republicans. A lot of them are left-leaning. But I get one thing. We're getting the rap signal. But this welfare society that the president is really promoting, does he see this as just a way of gaining more people who are indebted to the government who will vote for him, or does he sincerely believe that having all these people on food stamps and welfare
all these people
helps?
All these people, the reason why there are more people on food stamps is because people lost their jobs. No one wants to be on food stamps, Charles. That's absurd.
I disagree on that. We won't debate that right now.
That's another topic.
Well, you know what? Some people do get over, think they're getting over, and guess what? If you wake up in the morning, anytime you want, get a bowl of Fruit Loops and watch videos all day long because someone across town is paying your rent because there's someone's paying a small minority?
Very small portion of the American people.
I think it's a portion that's growing larger every day and being
portion that's conveniently demonized by the right.
They should be demonized. They should be demonized by every American who gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning and crosses the bridge and goes to work. They should be demonized.
And most Americans do, and 160 million of them got a tax cut.
I'll be glad when Obama stops demonizing workers, real workers who are creating real jobs, and I would be so happy when he stops demonizing successful couples and comparing a household making $300,000 to Warren Buffett. That's the worst kind of demonization. To Sandra's point, that's what's killing our country.
You're making $300,000, you're doing okay.
Okay is not Warren Buffett. Okay is don't hike my taxes anymore.
No, but I think that those people who are making $300,000 should not be paying lower effective tax rates than a household paying $50,000. Doesn't make any sense. Not fair.
All right. Well, we'll continue it again. Bernard Whitman, nice seeing you.
Thank you.